Let's break down the filing fees for the EB-2 NIW green card petition. For those who are applying within the United States, it is essential to understand this cost upfront to budget properly. Let's take a look at each of the form and its associated fees. Now, these fees are the current fees, meaning effective 1st April 2024, there has been changes in the fees, and these fees reflect that. First is Form I-140, which is the Immigrant Petition for Alien Worker. This form is crucial as it is used to petition for an employment-based immigrant visa. The regular processing fee for Form I-140 is $715. And until recently, there has been an additional fee of $300, which is the asylum program fee, added on top of the regular processing fee of the $715. Meaning, if you go the regular route, you have to pay $715 plus the asylum program fee of $300. If you want to expedite the process of your I-140, you can opt for premium processing. The fee for premium processing is $2,805, and I highly encourage anybody I consult with to go the route of premium processing as it helps you with a faster decision. Next is the form I-485. This form is the application to register permanent residence or adjust status. And this form is used if you're adjusting your status from within the United States. Meaning if you are going the consular processing route, you don't have to use form I-485. And the fee associated is $1,440. For dependents under the age of 14, filing concurrently with the parent, the fee for form I-485 is reduced to $950. And this helps families manage the cost of applying together. If you are in the US, as I already mentioned, you may also apply for an employment authorization document, also known as EAD, by filing form I-765. This allows you to work in the US while your application is being processed, and the fee associated with this form is $260. Another optional form is the form 131, which is also known as the advanced parole or the travel document. This form allows you to apply for a travel card, enabling you to re-enter the US after traveling abroad while your application is pending. And I always encourage people, if there is no need to travel outside of the US whilst your application is pending, please do not. And you will save yourself $630. A medical exams is also required for the adjustment of status process. The cost of medical exams in the US can range from anywhere between $75 to $500, depending on the provider and your location. If your documents are not in English, you will need to have them translated. And the cost of translation and even like taking photos and the mailings can range from anywhere between $100 to $500. Lastly, if you choose to hire an immigration attorney, the fees can vary significantly. For Form I-140, attorney fees can range from $6,000 to $10,000. For Form I-485, the average attorney fee for the principal applicant, meaning the main applicant, is around $2,000. So that means if you are filing as a family, you will pay for each person you add to the application. Let's take a look at the financial commitment of anyone applying outside of the United States. Let's continue our breakdown of the filing fees for the EB-2 NIW green card application, specifically focusing on consular processing, meaning anybody applying outside of the United States. Regardless of whether you are applying within or outside of the United States of America, the costs associated with most of the forms are the same. So for example, with Form I-140, the cost remains the same for regular processing of $715. The same applies to the asylum program fee of $300. And then the premium processing Form I-907, which is $2,805, which I always would recommend. To clarify, when you go the premium processing route, you'll be paying the cost of the regular processing of $715 and the asylum cost of $300 plus the cost of the premium processing of $2,805. Failure to include the $715 in your application when you go the route of premium processing would lead to delay. So take note. Next, let's talk about the cost of translating documents, taking photos, mailing fees, police certifications, transportation, accommodation, housing, etc. These costs can vary significantly depending on your country or your home country. It's essential to get these documents in order and factor in the cost variations. Taking photos, mailing fees, transportation, etc., and other costs will vary by country. So, for example, in Ghana, we may pay different costs for photos, even for mailing fees or transportation, compared to, let's say, Kenya, Cameroon, or Nigeria. But the cost of translating your documents may be the same depending on the service you choose, whether WES or Spatran or any other service, and factoring in the agency of the translation of the document. You will be expected to pay somewhere between $200 and $500. When you are ready for consular processing, there is a consulate fee of $345, and this fee is required for processing your visa application at the US Embassy or consulate in your home country. Then, of course, there is always the medical exams, which is required for the consular processing. The cost for the medical exams will also vary significantly depending on your home country, your location, and the doctor, as well as if there may be the need for additional vaccinations or tests that might be needed. Once your visa is approved, you will need to pay an immigrant fee of $235. This fee covers the cost of processing your green card once you arrive in the United States. And lastly, if you choose to hire an immigration attorney, the fees can also vary significantly. For consular processing, attorney fees can range from $8,000 to $15,000, and this is for the whole process from helping you through the I-140 petition to the consular processing. It will range between $8,000 to $15,000, and this fee covers assistance with preparing your petition, gathering the necessary documents, and guiding you through the consular processing. Again, this is just an estimate. It could be way more than that, but normally what I've seen is typically ranges between the $8,000 and $15,000. That is a comprehensive look at the filing fees for the EB-2 NIW green card petition, whether you are applying from within the US or going through the consular processing from outside the US. Understanding these costs will help you budget effectively and ensure you are prepared for each step in this process. And before I forget, I have included the link here to the USCIS fees effective April 1st. You can take a look and compare with what we are discussing here.